New vlog camera. Oh, I guess I should look at you through the mirror. So, what's so weird being able to see myself? So, it is 2 weeks past the release of A Court of Silver Flames. Well, almost 2 weeks. It's coming up on 2 weeks. And it just came today. I was ready to go out and buy another copy because mine hadn't arrived yet. What is the point of pre-ordering if it's not going to be at your house the day of release? Here, and I did not expect it to be so big. Oh my gosh. It's massive. It is massive. She is massive. I actually, unpopular opinion, I actually like these covers. And I love that it's orange underneath. I love it. I pulled out, this you can tell, I was really into stickers, from the depths of storage. These aren't original cards, but my Pokemon cards. I have so many, just so many. So we spent a little bit of time going through those. I'm going to read this, I think, first. And then what I might end up doing is reading this so that I can compare them, because this is another fantasy romance that's being hyped. So I want to see. I understand that this is technically the first in a series and the other one is like the 5th in a series. Anyway, I can't get over how good this camera looks. Oh my god, you can see all my fried hair. Sunday. Stop! I'm being attacked by cats. It's Sunday and I have not read anything. Yesterday I just got too busy with a few things that I was doing, and then I played DBD with a few friends last night. Dead by Daylight, and then this morning I had a stream, and normally on Sundays I only stream for 3 hours, and we went over 5 hours because I was doing a villager hunt and I still didn't get a villager, but anyway, I'm finally going to start, and if I get real into it, I'm probably not gonna film. And I'll just film tomorrow because I do have to film my wrap up. I'm very excited. I feel like it's been forever since I've done a wrap up, so I'm pretty excited to do that. This is what happens. Oh, and big announcement is that I'm an aunt today. My sister had a baby today. Hopefully I can finally start reading what I thought was going to be a weekend vlog. It's going to be a week vlog, as always. I never time things properly. So, here we go. It is Tuesday morning. Listen to my voice. Oh my god. I'm tired. I'm so tired. Yeah, so I read quite a good bit Sunday night and then a little bit last night. So I thought I would try to update a little bit in like quarters. Excuse you. Adjust. Thank you. So I'm 250 pages in. I don't know if that's about a quarter, because this is about, what, 1,000 pages long? Oh no. Oh no, it's only 800. Okay. So I'm a little after 200. Okay, anyway. Oh dear goodness. Okay, thoughts, feelings. What am I thinking so far? We've just now 250 pages and gotten to what I think is the main story plot. So I feel like you shouldn't have to do 250 pages before you get to that, but it is a big book, and I haven't really noticed it, if I'm being honest. I've been quite interested in what is happening, and of course, you know, I love all the characters, so all of that's fine and dandy. Let's talk about some pros and cons so far. The good things that are going on. Steamy scenes are steamy. They are steamy. I'm really appreciating this version of dealing with trauma. I feel like this isn't a version that I feel like I've read a lot and I don't see a lot. Maybe I'm looking in the wrong places, but basically more books that normalize sex and alcohol as ways of dealing with trauma, please. And sex in that, like, sex is a way to control your emotions and whatnot. So I am enjoying that part of the story because it is not something I feel like that is used often, and if it is, I don't think it's used appropriately. So it's interesting. It's interesting. I'm liking how we're dealing with the trauma. See where some things are going. I feel like I have some ideas, and I think I know what's gonna happen with some things. Some of the cons is that I will admit there's some parts where I'm like, that was a weird thing to just put in there. That was kind of weird. And there is some repetition, especially when we're talking about a character that was put into the cauldron and made old. Every time that person is mentioned, it is just continued to be referenced who this person is in relation to the cauldron. And I'm just like, we get it. We know. You told us. Some other cons that I feel like are that the tension between the characters I don't think is there. Like, there's some really good banter. I'm loving the banter, but I just am not feeling that tension. And also, I was expecting to hold out a little bit to build up tension, and then there'd be like a really big like moment, and it's not happening. It just feels like it's lacking that, which is something that tends to be my favorite part of like a hate to love romance. I am afraid that this book is going to make me not like Reese and Feyre. I'm not liking them right now. I'm really annoyed with them right now. So I am afraid that this book is going to ruin them for me. I'm going to read a little bit. I tried to read in bed and like was breaking my wrist to hold the freaking book because it's just so big and heavy. So I'm going to sit at the kitchen table, get my tabs ready. I don't think I've been tabbing that much. I mean, I'll let you guys be the judge, but I don't feel like I've been tabbing that much. I am at the halfway point. I don't really have a lot to report, if I'm being honest. I don't know, what am I supposed to do? Give you my reactions? I haven't had a whole lot of reactions yet. I can read some things off that would be kind of spoilery. I could let you know if I'm talking about spoilery stuff. Some of the things that are happening, we've definitely gotten a little bit more into somewhat of a storyline. I don't know if Sarah J. Maas had originally planned to go with this story. It doesn't seem like it. And she does realize that like the things that she's bringing into this would have plot holes to the previous books, so she does kind of address those pretty quickly. So one thing I did notice that I didn't talk about is that anyone who had a Court of Frost and Starlight, there was like that preview chapter in the back. And when I first started the first chapter in this, I was like, oh, this is just the preview chapter again. It was not, and there was actually some changes made from the preview chapter, so I was excited about that because this one left out some things that I felt like were a little weird, and then also went into more detail on some things and fixed some things, but Here's the thing. I love Nesta. Cassian's not my favorite of the group. He's probably actually my least favorite of the group. And I'm still feeling not a lot of great feelings but for Reese and Feyre. And actually there was a situation happening. Well, there's a lot of situations happening that I'm not happy with. But there was a situation happening and some very serious matter was going on. And then like a very happy announcement is made while this very serious stuff is going on. And it just felt not good timing. Not good timing. I don't like the Reese Feyre storyline that's happening. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't know. It just feels weird given that we're basically on the edge of a war. I'm hunched over because I don't feel like fixing my tripod. It's gonna be the spoiler part. There's a part where Nesta is doing the thing with the map and, you know, she's like out of it and her power has taken over and Cassian breaks her out of that by kissing her. And the part felt weird to me because why was that the thing that you do to get her out of it? Why would you do that? And also it didn't feel super consensual because up to that point, yes, some sexual things had happened. However, it wasn't like all those things had been initiated because of Nesta, like kind of giving the okay. And I felt like Nesta wasn't giving the okay here. And also like, I don't think there'd be any way that she would be okay with that happening in front of everyone of an audience. So that part just felt really weird, especially because then it's like he put his tongue into her mouth during, like, why? That part was probably the weirdest part of them all. Like, okay, guys. I have like 150 pages left. Okay, so of course last night when I was sobbing my eyes out, but there was no battery life left, so you guys didn't get my full reaction there, but just know I was sobbing my eyes out. Okay, I want to tell you guys what my favorite scene is. Well, my favorite scene so far. Okay, spoiler alerts. Spoilers. The scene where Nesta comes out of the bog. Perfect. I've been looking at fan art and it's fantastic. I need more. And then the other scene, I think my favorite scene in this whole entire book is at the winter solstice party. Oh God. The last few pages that I read have just been so good. First of all, the scene where she is dancing, it's so good. It's so good. And part of me wished that there would have been some more taunting between her and old what's-his-name, Idris or whatever the hell his name is. I wish that there had been a little more with them because I was kind of digging it. I'm not gonna lie. And then my favorite scene is the winter solstice when Asriel gives Nesta. Oh, I love that scene. It's so wholesome. That's my favorite scene in the whole book. That's my favorite scene. Now, I mean, I've guessed a lot of things that are happening between the characters. So, you know, there's some other things happening with Asriel that I don't care about. Okay, now the other scene that I want to talk about is the scene after the party where Cassian goes to Nesta's room and there's the exchange of words. So the part where Nesta is like, she goes on this big long thing. Well, it's not really super long, but she's like, he's a brute, he's a piece of shit, and I would marry him just because I am just like him. She's like, I don't deserve you, Cassian, I've never deserved you, and all your friends know it, and I have to carry the fact that they know it. Like, goes on this big thing, and then I just wish that there had been some sort of pushback from Cassian in that moment, like explaining, like, no, don't think that way, like, I think these, because then she's like, oh, you are brave and kind and blah, 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 and he doesn't even, like, come back with anything. And I guess it's part of his character. I don't know, because he's very kind, obviously, but, like, I guess because he's not very eloquent with the words, but I wish that he had put up some sort of argument in that moment instead of, like, there's something in his eyes. I know what's in his eyes, but there's something in his eyes, and that's what makes Nesta kind of resigned to her feelings. But I wish that there had been just a little bit pushback from him in that moment. I wanted, like, a full-blown argument and, like, a very heated, like, oh, fuck, we just realized something. Not this, he's gonna take all of her words and not even give her any words of comfort. And then instead, I don't really like the exchange where he's just like, you're not going to marry him. And she's just like, no. Because there was nothing in between that moment that would... Anyway, also, I knew this book was going to be smutty, but, like, there are some things I was still freaking surprised by how detailed this is. I do think that the next book will follow Asriel. It's only natural at this point, but I think the next book will follow Asriel and maybe 2 other characters. I'm sensing maybe a love triangle. Maybe that's wishful thinking on my part, because if there's a love triangle and it's done really well, I can get with it. I love a little bit of heart tugging in a love triangle, so we'll see. Oh, it's getting cold. I better chug it. Oh my gosh. I finished it. Is that dirt on my face? Oh no, that's just a shadow. I finished it. Look, my book is like bowed from holding it. Anyway, I finished it. I want you to see the tabs in all their glory. Focus. Oh my god, look at that. Look at all that. Look at all that. Anyway. I gotta say, the last quarter of that deals with the trial type stuff is some of the best writing, in my opinion, that Sarah J. Maas has ever given us. It was great. That was my favorite part of the whole story. I wish, like, the whole book would have been about that. I loved it. I didn't really care for like, some of the other story things that were happening, but I loved that part so much, and I love the friendship aspects of this. I feel like she does a pretty good job with balancing, like, romantic relationships with budding friendships, and each person kind of feels like their own, but I just love that part so much. I thought it was good, so good. Wow, I have a lot of things. I messaged Amanda because she finished the book. I don't know, she reads so quickly, I don't understand. But I messaged her and I was like, I wish this would have happened, this would have happened, and this would have happened, and this would have happened, but also, I loved it. I don't know what I'm gonna rate it. I don't know. That's probably pretty close to a Court of Mist and Fury for me. I will say I did think this one was more predictable, but I think that's just because I know Sarah J. Maas's writings at this point. Like, I know her writing style, and I kind of know there was, like, 2 things that I did not expect, but I kind of had guessed everything else. But it didn't take away from my enjoyment from, like, being able to guess those things. So I think that that's a plus. Because if it doesn't ruin the story for me, that's a good thing. Even though I can predict it. Because a lot of times when I find stories predictable, I just don't enjoy it anymore. But I was impressed. So, I feel a lot of things. I'm feeling a lot of things. I don't know. I don't know if it's quite a 5-star just because I did think that, like, the overall plot, in my opinion, is a little flimsy. Like, the main thing that we're focusing on in the world, Nesta's storyline is fantastic. And the romance is just, it was a little too many details at times that I didn't need. But that's your thing. But I did think it was a little too many details at times. I don't need to know what the balls are doing. I don't. I really don't. I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna rate it. It might be a 5-star just because I really enjoyed it. There were some things, but I don't know if they're worth taking enough stars off of. Maybe a 4.5, but a 4.5 doesn't feel right now. But it might be because I'm still living on the high of finishing it, and the last part was so good. So maybe that's why. Maybe that's why. I do feel like I read through this pretty quickly, given that I've had no free time. Although I started reading at like 10 o'clock this morning, and it's 3 o'clock. And I really wasn't reading that much. Why did it take me so long? Oh, because I reread and I got up and I walked the dog and did other things. But wow. Okay, I'm just gonna simmer in my thoughts for a while. I'm gonna go look up some fan fiction, not fan fiction, some fan art. Yeah. Okay, I didn't know if, like, because I was still kind of in the mindset of A Court of Silver Flames, but I do think that I can set it to the side. I think my thoughts will be okay. Don't think I'm gonna mix them together. And I'm just so in the mood to read, which has been so rare lately, that I think I'm just gonna go ahead and start this. So that's the plan. I don't expect to get very far because it's Saturday, which means I'm DVDing with the girls. So I'm just waiting for everyone to be ready. Why does this keep wanting to focus on the cat portrait? Are my expectations gonna be too high? We'll find out. We'll see which, although I was gonna battle this as like the battle of the steamy romances, but if this beats A Court of Silver Flames, I will be highly impressed because that book was something else. Oh, hey, I'm putting away all my nail stuff right now. It's been a while since I've had nails. Oh my gosh. They're kind of night. Oh, I just realized I did not do enough coats on this hand. Oh no. It'll be okay. It'll be okay. I think they're just a little extra see-through. You can't really tell. Oh, I can tell. I have like these glitters, and I have these ones which are stars, as you can see. And this whole time I thought I had butterfly ones. Friends, they are not butterflies. Let me just show you. Can you see? Can you see? This whole time I thought they were butterflies, and they're Playboy bunnies. I'm a little over 100 pages. Actually, I think I'm a lot more than 100 pages. Might be like 100 and some, 150 pages in. And I'm just kind of like, you know how there's some stories where they baby feed you details, and normally I have a problem with that because I'm like, stop, I am a, you know, as a reader, I can pick up on context clues and figure out what's going on. You don't have to baby feed me everything. Well, Jennifer Armentrout does the opposite in this because there is not enough information about the things and I feel lost. I feel like I've been dropped into a world that I should already know things about, and they're throwing terms around without really fully explaining what they are and the places and how things work. So I'm 100 and some pages in and I'm just kind of confused. Is this a werewolf book? Is this a vampire book? Is it all of them? Because I didn't know that. I did not realize that. I'm feeling quite lost. So, yeah, that's that. So I think that's just kind of put me off of it a little bit. And every time I look at it, I'm just like, I don't know if I'm ready to be confused again. I'm hoping once I get more into it that it will be quicker going, because right now I'm just like, ugh. I don't know if anyone else gets this problem, but I get fixated on colors. So I just realized that, you know, I painted my nails this color. And I picked up some plant pots this week that are also that color. And I realized that I was looking at bedding that is that color. It just happens. I want to show you the cutest. Oh my god, I'm having such a bad breakout right now. Okay, so Becca has asked me to join her live sprints, and because I have not gotten back into Blood and Nash or whatever the heck it's called, I thought this seemed like the perfect time to, I'm not going to do like an official vlog, and I'll just kind of add a little bit of it in here. Obviously, I don't think I'm going to do all the prompts for the Bookopoly-thon. The first one was a book with a dark cover, which I figure I can use, a Blood and Ash or whatever the heck it's called. And then I think that's what I'm going to read whenever we do the live show. But I really need to kind of clean up and reorganize my shelves today. And I'm trying to find, I know there was a second prompt. It has to do with contemporary. And I have Act Your Age, Evie Brown on my list. And I think I want to listen to that. So there's dark cover, and then there's fantasy. And then prompt 3 is person of color rep. And then prompt 4 is contemporary. Oh, I can just... Oh my god, this actually works perfectly. Because the first one is dark cover, and then the second prompt is fantasy, which can work for Ash and Blood, and then person of color rep and contemporary both work for Act Your Age Evie Brown. I'm excited. I am excited. Whoop, that is. So, yeah, it's 10 hours. Well, it's really 11 hours. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna change and put on some makeup and then start with the reorganization video. So I realize this is adding like a third, maybe even fourth book in here for this reading vlog at some point. Finished At Your Age, Eve Brown, and I listened to it basically in one sitting. It was really good. I think it was just as good as Get a Life Chloe Brown. Second one that much, I don't know if it was just like the timing of it or what, like I just couldn't get into it. But I really like this one. It has some autism rep, and it is a little bit of hate to love, dislike to love, whatever. And I just thought it was so good. I thought that there was enough build up, and of course it does have the same kind of storyline as with any romance seems to have, where it's like, you know, the build up, the things happen, some more things happen, and then there's like a argument of some sort. That's just how it works. I wrote a romance and it follows the same plot line. I don't know. I enjoy the story. I really enjoy the characters. You can tell that the Brown sisters are sisters, but they are still very unique in their own ways. And I felt like we got to see a little bit more of the family in this one and just fully Oh no, it all makes sense. It all makes sense. I should probably read a little bit of From Ash and Blood. It's just the sitting down to read something. I have gotten so used to multitasking. I have to be doing multiple things at one time anymore. I don't know if it's like I'm too understimulated, I don't know. So, there's that. What? My camera?
I'll give you a little stimulation.
That's not the stimulation I'm looking for. Get off! This is still recording, you know?
So you're gonna edit it?
What if I just leave? I don't know. I'm just kind of sick of being home, to be honest. I think that's it. Ain't that right? Do you like it here? Do you like me now? Do you like me now? My god. I am going to hang out with Gavin and Lexi, and hopefully they will make me read things. So I'm sorry I was picking at this. We're just gonna pretend that doesn't exist. Oh wow, that fixed the coloring. I don't understand. I don't understand. I have been laughing for 10 minutes straight. Why is it so funny? It's about, oh god, it's really not that long now. An hour and a half until the sprints start, the very last bit of the sprints. So I'm just going to, I went and got some snacks. I got some chocolate covered almonds because that's my fave. And I got some Sour Bites, also some of my faves. And then I also picked up some cookies. So... And I know Becca is going to be drinking. I was like, girl, I got a 9 a.m. appointment tomorrow. But you know, I give into peer pressure pretty easily. I had it kind of out of the thing. But I went to zoom in on Gavin's thing, and instead I accidentally zoomed on I have a big cock comment instead. But I was like, oh, I'm gonna get Gavin's, and instead it was just like, that was the comment. I was like, that wasn't the comment I was trying to find. I'm probably way too drunk to be participating in these very real discussions happening on the live show. Again, I'm way too drunk to be having these conversations. Not even gonna lie to y'all. I am hungover today. I'm pretty sure when I went to work this morning, I was still tipsy. So, yeah, last night was something. Who let me do that? Who let me do that on a Sunday night? Okay, I am a little over halfway through, I believe. Yeah, I'm almost 350 pages in to From Blood and Ash, and things are finally happening that I care about. We are about to get into a scene that I know I'm going to love. So, I just have a feeling. So, I'm hoping to spend the rest of the day, I got off work early, I'm hoping to spend the rest of the day reading, just reading, because I want it done. I want it done and finished, but I do have to water my plants. Look, droopy. So droopy, angry at me. So I do need to water my plants real quick. Some steaminess happened. This isn't as steamy as I thought it was gonna be. Like, everyone was talking about how smutty this is. It's not. Apparently the second one is, but this one is not so much. However, there is a scene that I really liked. Let's talk about some of the... I feel like there's some glaring issues that I have to address with this book. One, what's up with all the... I can't think of what they're called. The ... dots. There's a lot of them. Especially at the beginning, and then it dies off a little, and then it returns a little, and then it dies off again. And there's just a few grammatical errors that, like, I know I'm being nitpicky about, but also, like, I can't help but notice them and then, like, focus on them, and then I, like, get out of the story because I'm like, shouldn't this be this instead? There's just a few, and, like, the formatting, whenever it was printed, there's a few spots where the end quotations are on, like, the next line and not, like, with the quote. I don't like it. It makes me uncomfortable. Other than that, that's nitpicky. There's only a few things really wrong, I think, personally, with the story. Obviously, I have felt like it's a slow start. We do have some... I did have an issue at the beginning because I felt like there was some non-consenting stuff happening, and I was worried how this was going to go. Also, a lot of insta-lusty. Whatever. I'm fine. I'm here for it. It's okay. It's not that obnoxious, I feel like, this time, because the banter's good, and, like, they actually have some chemistry. But there is a, like, plot twist that I know is coming, and you can see it from, like, page 3. It's literally, like, mentioned on page 3, and then it keeps being hinted at in... not even subtle, not subtle at all, in the most exaggerated way possible. Like, I know what's gonna happen because, like, you're not even trying to be subtle about it. The thing that you should be spoon-feeding me is, like, this world and how this world works, because I still don't understand it. Instead, you're spoon-feeding me the plot twist. That's not what I want. I want the plot twist to be a plot twist. I don't want the world to be a plot twist. So that's just, like, the big thing. There was also a section where I feel like instead of talking about all these really, like, kind of boring... I mean, there's still been things happening. I just haven't really cared about them. But instead of talking about, like, all her duties as, like, the maiden for, like, 400 pages... there is something that happens, and we very much... First of all, I was surprised. I will say I was surprised because, like, I hope you don't like any characters, because Jennifer L. Armentrout was fucking brutal. I wasn't expecting the description of how much gore was going on. I'm here for it, though. Like, it was a good surprise, but just know there's some gory parts. But, there is a section where I felt like we could have had a really good look into trauma and the feelings of trauma, And we are told straight up that, like, Poppy has basically been in shock and hasn't talked to anyone in, like, a week. And then in the very next page, we're not going to deal with those feelings. No, we're not. We're just going to suddenly act like nothing happened, and Poppy's just going to suddenly be herself again. That was a little annoying. I was like, I feel like you just didn't want to do the hard work here. Like, we definitely, I know that it's probably going to come up again, but it was just like the fact that the switch was like so quick after we were just told how much she was struggling, and then instead it was like she just was acting like normal, and we were just supposed to believe when she was like, I'm not my normal self, but then acted otherwise. Like, I don't. That's been my main complaints. Other than that, I do enjoy the characters. Again, I was pleasantly surprised by the gore and some of the scenes that are happening. The depictions of the scenery is really beautiful, and I am loving the chemistry between the two characters in their scenes. So, with the plot twist, I'm interested to see how this is going to go. That's normally how romances work. It's like nothing really happens, and then like a whole bunch of shit happens, and then we have a steamy scene, and then like immediately after the steamy scene, some shit's going to go down. Like, that's just how writing these things works. So I know that something is coming because we just had like a moment of like release. So, oh my god, it's the end of the vlog. Okay. Let me sit down. Hey, hi, hello. I stayed up until 2 o'clock in the morning to finish reading this. I didn't think it would take me that long because I didn't really have that much further to go. But I kept rereading some scenes because they were interesting. Knowing that this is a vampire book is so much more interesting. Just saying. So I know this was kind of a struggle to get through at first. Like, I just wasn't feeling it. I think, the writing at the beginning is a little off-putting, and it gets better. For some reason, I don't know, there's just a lot of dots happening within the first few chapters, and that gets better. And I also think that it's a little slow getting into it because there's no real world building. So getting into things and trying to understand with just context clues here and there was a little confusing, and I was just like, you're making my brain work too hard for something that I know isn't really worth it. Like, I know that this is not the main plot. Like, I know that the romance is the main plot. So there was that. It's a little insta-lusty, but I think we're gonna have reasons for that. It's kind of hinted at. Again, the main plot twist wasn't a plot twist because we know from like page 3 what's gonna happen. The only thing was I did like how everything was revealed. I thought that was pretty well done, like the reasoning behind some things. However, I do think that there are some things that are a little contradictory, and I've still had a hard time following. So, but I will say, once you get past like the introductory parts, it gets into it. It's pretty action-packed. It's bloody. I was not expecting so much blood. It is bloody. It gets steamy. I know people are saying, like, I was like, this isn't as, like, doesn't have as much smut as I was expecting. And apparently that it intensifies in book 2. So I'm very excited because I thought the scenes that were in this were good. There was one scene I was like, oh, this might be one of my favorites of all time. But, yeah, I already ordered the second one because now I need to binge the second one. And I did not realize that the third one comes out in April. So, like, for once, I'm going to be on time with a series. Oh, wait, I guess I'm on time with a few series. But, I mean, like, I'll have binged a series around the time of it having, like, a release, I guess is what I mean. So, I don't know. So, okay, I know I was kind of pinning this against A Court of Mist and Fury, or Court of Silver Flames. I don't really think they're that comparable. The writing style is quite different. And I think the stories are just a little too different. A Court of Mist and A Court of Silver Flames is like 99% like smut, basically. It is like full erotic story, and this one just isn't quite to that level. So if you're looking more for intense erotic scenes, A Court of Silver Flames. I think that in terms of like excitement, this one might actually win, just because the plot in Silver Flames just was like non-existent too. So, but I have been seeing the word romantasy going around, and I really like that term. So, where the romance is kind of equal or greater than the main plot. So, that's what I would classify both of these as. And yeah, I feel like I can't really compare them. They're probably both about the same rating for me. Probably around a 4. This one I just got kind of nitpicky with the writing, just some editing issues that I would have liked to have seen fixed, and just a little more on the world, and some parts probably could have been cut out and we could have focused on something else. But yeah, I don't know, it was very addicting and I really enjoyed it, and both of these books I feel like got me out of a reading slump. I couldn't even imagine reading books this big anymore. Like, I had reached a point where I was like, I don't even enjoy like reading. Like, I look at a thick book and I don't want to do it. And I just read 2 thick ass books back to back. Who am I? So I'm really excited for the second one to come. It's supposed to be here this weekend, and I will probably continue on this journey, but the vlog for this is done. We had so many parts that I did not expect to include. I had a whole ass other book in here that wasn't supposed to happen. We had Book-Oplathon, which was fantastic. I didn't do like a full vlog for that because I barely participated in it, to be honest. I mean, I read like 1 whole book, and then I just got drunk at the live show, so there's that. But I still had a lot of fun doing it. I feel like that definitely contributed to taking away my reading slump as well. So anyway, that's it for this vlog. Let me know if you have read any of these, what your favorite romantasies are. I really like that term. It just rolls so nicely. But let me know your thoughts and feelings if you have read these things, if you have liked them. Let me know. Anyway, hope you guys have liked this video. Don't forget to subscribe to see future vlogs from me. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.